I'm having a digestive
It's the layup. Somebody did. Good morning! Good morning, everybody. It is the 1st of August, 2024. We are here in the Office Hours headquarters for another episode. Another morning of Office Hours Live. That's right, it's the program I began 18 years ago where I'm able to express myself and my vision for your future and really unite this country together and make it a place for learning and tolerance. And we do that every day. Now, we do the show every day, but only on Thursdays do we do it live. And do we do it for anybody in the public? We generally, Mondays we do it here in the morning, and we do 2 hours, and the episodes are scrubbed.
It's always the same episode, too.
We do the script, we follow the script to the letter. We do that, we have a different script for each day, and we record them, broadcast them, film them, have guests come in, and then immediately they're scrubbed. No backups, they don't exist on the cloud. In a lot of ways. But Thursdays, we make it public and we do not scrub the episodes. We keep it up for everybody to watch whenever. You could be watching this in the year 2100. Imagine that, Doug, the year 2100. 2100. How many years away is that, Vic?
I wasn't listening, so I don't know what number.
It'd be 100 minus 24.
Oh, it'd be 76.
76. In 76 years from now, we'll be watching the show. What do you think laptops will look like in 76 years, Doug?
Crystal clear.
There you go. All-day battery life.
Oh, it's going to go years.
When was the last time you charged your laptop? It's been
Me?
3 years. No, I'm talking about in 76
Oh, it's a
years.
lifetime charge. It's not even an issue.
Nah.
They're going to reverse engineer the alien technology that Pentagon is working with now. Have you seen T2?
All right, let's welcome, speaking of the devil, let's welcome the devil, DJ Douggpound.
Good morning.
I appreciate my wordplay there because I said that speaking of the devil, and you've got horns. Hey, okay.
Oh, look at that.
Victor Berger, the fourth behind me as always.
What's it,
I'd like to get an attendance record on Vic because I think it's near perfect.
Perfect attendance.
Yes.
Perfect attendance.
I haven't been sick in a while. I haven't had other jobs or gigs going on.
Not like the rest of us.
I'm here.
So this show is a low priority for Doug and me.
Perfect.
But for Vic,
This is my life. This is what keeps me alive.
Perfect pepperoni.
Victor Berger, of course, great to have you. And stop playing your keyboard over other songs.
To set the mood.
Like when the band comes in, please.
I know, but sometimes I get bored and I gotta do.
Well, if you get bored, do something else.
All right.
Don't get bored on this
I'll
show.
just whistle in my head.
Do me a favor for the audience, for me. Don't get bored on this show.
I won't.
This show is my top priority right now, okay?
Right now.
Forever. Starting now.
At this moment.
There's no other tours.
Until the show ends.
Yes, and we are
this episode
winding
ends.
things down, and this will be our penultimate show. Matt,
One more after today.
One more after today.
Yeah, I knew that. We didn't tell Doug and Vic yet.
No, but it's enough.
But
Plenty.
you can still buy the archives.
I just said no to a huge job because of this show.
What was the job? You can't reveal.
Construction.
Say what?
You can't reveal the job.
I can reveal it.
What is it?
Tiles.
Tiles.
That big building downtown with all the graffiti tiling that.
Captain Carlin wearing shorts today. Let's make note of that.
You've been wearing shorts.
What are you, Trump? This is Trump these days. He goes, well, they're the ones that are saying, they're the ones actually.
You can't even see my shorts on the air, but after.
Wait, are there any pictures of Trump in shorts?
Yes, there's that
There are?
famous one with him
The
playing
volleyball
tennis.
one? Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. That's like the only one I've ever seen, though.
Big diaper.
Recent?
Yeah, anytime. I'll take them all.
Oh wait, look at that. Yeah, is that real?
Yeah,
That
that's a
big
real
butt.
picture. That's real.
What a terrible question.
I
to
can't
ask.
see anything on my
I
teleprompter
haven't
as
put it
usual.
up yet. Here we go. Look at that.
See?
It's a big rump.
That's why he doesn't wear shorts.
Puts the rump
Oh,
in
well,
trunk.
I would love to watch him play tennis. I didn't know he plays tennis, too.
Oh, he's a great. I think he was in the Olympics this year.
I hate flies.
Yeah, he uses that. You have one of those. I have one of those rackets to kill flies with. That's what
I
he's
hate
doing right
flies.
there. All right, we're not going to beat up on Trump because he's having a rough couple of weeks. Things are not going well. He was on top of the world like 2 weeks ago. He was like crushing it.
Got shot.
Gift
and got
from
shot.
Shot,
I don't like it.
somehow lived, and had that big party in Milwaukee where everybody was treating him like he was Mao Zedong, chairman, the king, like a benevolent king. He was sitting there bowing and praying as people were lauding him for being such a great granddad and a great golfer. And then, like, it's just the rug got swept under his feet. He's flailing. He's drowning. And we love to see it. We hope he does drown,
We'll have a national,
metaphorically.
and we will then be sued.
So much
They
I
will
could
sue
say
us
about
on the Ninth Circuit.
that. But people hate it when I get political. Somebody on Instagram said that court jesters were never political. You shouldn't be. What?
I don't like it.
Who knows anything about what court jesters did or do?
Are there transcripts of their performances? Somebody,
It must have gotten a little political at some point, right?
I thought that was the point. They were the only ones allowed to
Yeah.
criticize the
That's their
king.
job.
Right.
Keep them honest.
The origin of the jester.
Anyway, let's welcome our big special guest in the studio, where I'm so excited to have him. Not from Entourage, from the Eels. What an honor.
Yes.
Good morning.
I want you to know that this show is my top priority for the next hour or two.
All right, that's fantastic to hear.
Very happy to be
You've
here.
cleared your schedule.
Completely cleared for at least the next hour.
Now, you're not doing any other press during this appearance?
I will be texting during some of the boring parts.
We should-
A text interview.
Find out what the boring parts are from Vic. He seems to have a good read on it.
We did.
Now, I want to
say?
get into everything with you. You came in, let me just be honest, and we do make the show about me.
Understandably.
The first thing you say to me was,
That which part? About
Tim Apple.
big fan. You said big
I said I'm a
fan.
big fan.
And I'll tell you why that matters to me, because I am a big fan of yours.
Well, I love when that happens.
Yeah, Frans, we call them.
I'm always very surprised by that if someone I'm a fan of is a mutual fan. It's always news to me. Like, I wish I had known a long time ago.
I mean, it's like I've never seen you in concert or anything like that. I'm not like
Oh.
crazy about you, but
I thought you were a fan.
Name one song, Tim. Name
well,
one song.
you know, I go pretty far back with you, I think, as a fan goes. But there was a record of yours that for a time, and we all have records that are just like very important in a certain period of time in your life, and the Daisies of the Galaxy record.
Oh, yeah.
That one, that was my favorite record. I think it was right around, what was it, like 2000?
2000, yeah. That was a long time ago.
That was right when I started illegally downloading things.
I love
you know?
records.
Oh, well,
I
just
think
my luck.
Yeah, I know. Perfect timing. You got into the music biz. Perfect.
Well, I got it in at least
Actually-
I got it in at the end of the good part.
Right.
Yeah.
So you had, should I do the interview now, Doug, or should we talk? We should get a caller
Just
on.
do it. Don't
Just
talk
jump
about
in.
it.
Calm
Do
down.
it.
They have nothing to say, these fools.
No, hey,
I'll say it.
I've always respected the Zoomers from the beginning of this show.
Not me. But we do have a bone picker on the
Oh,
hump.
let's get to that real quick.
Get that out of the way.
Yeah.
Dave from Long Island, so you know.
Oh, God.
He's Long Island, guys. Dave from Long Island,
Dave,
you're
give
live.
me a break. What do you got, babe? Babe.
Tim, can you hear me?
Yep.
A quick bone. Since Joe Biden has stepped down,
Oh, here we
will
go.
you here and now agree to stop doing your impression of Joe Biden? It's terrible. I say this with peace and love, Tim. I say it with peace and love. Your Joe Biden is Barack Obama
Yeah.
saying Jack,
Jack,
and that's it.
look, here's the deal.
Exactly.
Well, yes, fine.
Come on,
you know what?
man.
I'm gonna I take your point. I'm not too proud to beg. Now I heard. Speaking of that though, I heard this Josh Shapiro. You know who this Josh Shapiro is? He's the president of Pennsylvania. He's the governor of Pennsylvania. I hear a little Obama in him. Have you?
Oh yeah.
Can you play this clip?
Let me find it. Yeah.
Wait,
The pundits have been talking about it.
Oh, have they?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He works hard.
There was
Listen,
one
I'm not.
word-
No, I'm not fucking Rich Little. I don't make my.
that sounds a
I don't
little
make my
Bruce.
bread and
You
butter
do a
on
Bruce there.
impressions.
Yeah.
Who do you do? Who do you impress? Who do you impress?
I'm definitely not Rich Little.
No.
All right, you want to hear
And
Josh?
quick, Tim, I just wanted to
Go
get
ahead.
your take on the Timothee Chalamet, Bob Dylan biopic, and I'll take my answer off the air. Love you guys.
Wow, what a great professional
Yeah,
call
that's a
that
pro
was.
move.
Knows
That
what
is a
he's
Love
great
it.
call, and we
Yeah.
applaud that kind of.
in and out.
Perfect 10 out of 10 call.
Now, I think you should close your eyes for this clip. I'll tell you my, and I want your opinions on this Bob Dylan stuff. But let's hear this. I think you need to kind of close your eyes to hear it, and it's subtle. I'm not saying this guy's Rich Little either.
Was here 248 years ago,
Years ago.
just about 15 miles from where we are right now, at Independence Hall, where patriots decided to declare independence, where patriots gathered in taverns and town squares
Where's?
to decide that they wanted to be able to
wanted to be-
choose their own future, their own destiny. That work was here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
The
All right, yeah.
birthplace
So
of
it's just in that, like these guys
And that
sometimes they
work.
just get a little southern draw.
It's almost like he studied Obama's speech pattern the same way Melania studied Michelle's book.
Speech. Yeah, yeah,
Or speech, yeah.
yeah. Anyhow, thoughts on the what's it called? A complete unknown. Are you a Bob guy?
Oh, of course I'm a Bob guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I thought I saw the trailer, and I think it's sometimes it's not fair to judge something by the trailer because trailers are kind of a science in tricking dumb people into seeing things, you know. And so it does have like a paint by numbers kind of feel. Did you see it? The trailer?
I saw it.
And it does feel like this, you know, Dewey Cox, the Walk Hard movie, kind of
It's exactly my first thought.
permanently
It was like,
just
there's-
atom bombed.
Why
the
are they
musical
still being
biopic.
made? I don't know what the point is.
Yeah, so
Which one's Bob Dylan on that picture?
I personally don't find Timothee Chalamet that engaging of an actor. Like you look at Robert Redford. Now there's an actor.
Well,
You
I,
look at
I
Bobby
think
De
he's
Niro.
doing a fine job for what the job is.
Yeah, I just you know there's some people that like, and obviously he's incredibly successful.
Yeah.
What?
But for me personally, he doesn't radiate. He doesn't have that thing that movie stars have, where you just
Yeah.
can't stop looking at him.
The
He's
Riz?
kind of a duck.
I just
he doesn't
you
have the
know,
Riz.
I just don't see why these movies get made and why when there's like the Scorsese Dylan documentary,
You can just go to that.
like you know,
Or Masked and Anonymous is a fun, great, weird movie. Have you seen that one? It's
Very
long-
weird.
Yeah, very weird.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't know. So, am I going to see it? Of course.
Yes.
But I also heard. I mean, I don't want to call anybody out, but I heard some not so pleasant things about this Chalamet.
I mean, yeah. What'd you hear?
Yeah, just women things. Nothing illegal, apparently.
Wow.
He might be not such a great guy. I hate to say this. You know, I really hate to be in the position to say such a thing.
Don't say it though.
I won't say it.
You don't have to say it.
You know, when you look into it, and I have very strongly, yeah, people are saying many things.
Sounds like someone's lying just to get attention.
That could be. All right, I just want to make an announcement
Just
quickly,
kidding.
too, that all topics are on the table, obviously. I'm up for criticism. Please no roller coaster talk, though. We can't talk about roller coasters.
Why?
Why?
Well, for a week or so now, my son, Charlie, who's now 7, has got it in his head. Well, he's just obsessed with roller coasters. He's very intrigued by them. He wants to, he's debating what roller coaster he's going to go on in the future. And every morning he comes into our kitchen, where I have my coffee and try to do a little morning work, he wants to talk about roller coasters. And we have a nice 5-minute conversation about roller coasters. But I'm over it. I can't keep going on about it. And then this morning, he was over it too. He came, because it was become a routine now. He comes in, he's like, I don't have anything today about roller coasters.
Wow, all right. Moving on.
Yeah. Let's take a zoomer, because we would like to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, we have SJ here, and SJ has a problem.
All right, Mark, do you like solving problems? I mean, E?
Where is he? SJ? Can you unmute?
Yeah, I'm a great problem solver.
Oh, SJ, can you unmute?
And let me say, E has a new album out called Eels Time.
That's right. It's finally our time.
This is your big break.
After like 25 years or whatever, we finally are
number
getting
one
our time.
record in the not the world, but in America.
It's gone tinfoil in Lithuania.
No, it's a beautiful piece of work.
Thank you.
Who's on there? We got
SJ.
SJ.
Wait, you're still not unmuted, SJ. What's going on here?
What are you, Mark Hamill on the Dudes for Harris Zoom?
All right, sorry, SJ, you're having too many problems. We're gonna move on to Nicholas.
Well, we couldn't solve that problem.
Hi. Nope.
Sorry, SJ. Next time.
Well, that's just Carson, damn it.
Nicholas,
can you
is
hear
there
me?
too, yeah.
Hi, Nicholas.
Hey there. I'm a lifelong Eels fan. I've been on board since the 1990s. Mark, your music has meant so much to me. It's like impossible to put into words, honestly. I'm also a huge fan of OHL, the whole crew there. My favorite podcast / TV show for sure. So this is amazing to me. It's all my favorite shit in one place.
You make a good
Wow.
point.
How nice of you to say. Thank you for saying that.
If anyone out there hasn't listened to the Eels back catalog, Electroshock Blues, Blinking Lights, Daisies of the Galaxy, you got to listen to that stuff. It's some of the best music ever made.
Whoa.
Anyway, I mean that, no hyperbole. Anyway, I had a snack-related question for all of you in the room there.
Of course.
And for the Zoom chat and the YouTube chat.
Yeah.
Tim, I know you're a big peanut M&M's head.
I'm a big fan of the YouTube chat.
Yeah. Well, my question is, if you go into a gas station, what kind of gas station snacks or candy are you guys going to come out with?
All right, E, I'll go to you.
I mean, I spend a lot of time at truck stops on tour, and they're almost always disappointing for me, really. It's, sometimes it's, like
if you're
Nutty Buddy or...
If you're on a bus...
Does ice cream count?
Nutty Buddy sounds pretty good. Yes, ice cream counts.
But I wish they would up their game at the truck stops.
Have you ever been in England?
Oh, a lot.
You know, the stops in the rest stops in England are 5-star experiences. Some of them.
Some of them.
Some of them.
Yeah.
There was one that we went to that was like a full farmer's market.
That's a real nice one. Yeah.
Really nice.
Some of them in Europe are pretty classy.
Yeah. Doug, what's your go-to snack?
They have vegan options there. I would go with the Slurpee these days. I don't really get snacks. But
Slurpee good?
Slurpee good.
Whoa. I can almost predict Vic's. Let me see if I can remember what he always walks out with.
I was trying to think here.
Yeah. Bugles?
No, that's
Bugles are good.
I love Bugles.
They're all right, a little weird, but I would go. I wouldn't do the snack thing. I would get like a fountain soda because it tastes good coming out of the fountain. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Vic looks like a Cowtails guy to me.
I used to do Cowtails big time, but I would do an egg salad sandwich. I would get one of those like ones that are on the shelf there that we'd get in England or wherever it was. That's what I would do in a Diet Coke.
Well, listen, thanks for the great question.
Yeah, I just real quick. I wanted to put in a plug for. I was gonna say I really like barbecue corn nuts. They're very crunchy and have a lot of flavor, and I just wanted you guys to keep that in mind next time you go to the gas station. So.
I'll keep that in mind for sure.
Thanks, Corn.
So we overlap in a weird way. Well, I don't know if I would say overlap, but we had some mutual friends. But I've never met you before you walked in the door. But like I said, I was a fan of your music. And then sometime around, I would say 2005 or so, well, I don't know when, you put out a memoir.
Yeah.
A memoir And again, I was a fan of yours, but I don't know what compelled me to get the memoir. I mean, whatever. It was just I picked it up kind of randomly.
Let me guess, you still haven't read it.
No, I don't remember anything about it except one thing.
Oh.
This changed my life. It really did.
Yeah.
You in the book mentioned that you became obsessed with Randy Newman's Good Old Boys.
Uh-huh.
And I knew Randy Newman, and I couldn't say I was a fan. I wasn't too familiar with his 70s records. Huh. But reading you talk about it made me want to explore it. I explored it, and it changed the way I think about writing, music, making music. And so you put me on this trajectory that many of my fans don't appreciate.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, everybody.
No, but it was that. It's fun to you're reading something and you're like, well, this guy seems really into this thing that I don't know anything about, and it turns you onto it. So,
I mean, that's good stuff, right? Good Old Boys.
Well, a plug for our friends. The Joker Men. They do a podcast about Dylan, but they expanded it out, and they're fans of. I mean, they're friends of us. We've had them on the show, and I just sat down a couple days ago. And it's out now to talk about Good Old Boys for like an hour and a half with them.
Wow, so you're deep into it.
Deep into it. But it sounded like in the book that you were too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I say this about several things, but it's one of the things. It's as good as it gets in my book.
Yes, it's a perfect record for sure.
Yeah.
So check, if you're a Jokerman subscriber, check that out. It was nice
the reason I signed to DreamWorks Records back in the day was because my guy there would be Lenny Waronker.
Oh, really?
Who produced all the great Randy stuff. And he's Randy's best friend to this day. They knew each other as kids. And,
so was he at Warner Brothers?
Yeah, he was the Warner Brothers
and left
guy.
for DreamWorks.
Yep, yeah.
So let's get into it. How did you, what's the origin story for E? How did you get the attention of Lenny Waronker of all people?
I mean, everything that's ever happened to me is a miracle. My secret to happiness is having very low expectations. I didn't have any hope when I was younger.
Yeah.
And so everything's just a pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that I got to be involved with Lenny Waronker for 5 albums, it was just like a...
Were you here in L.A.?
Yeah.
So you were...
I came from Virginia in the late 80s when I was about 24. And, I had a miserable time. I didn't know anybody. It was insane. But I was just at my wit's end in Virginia. And so I just drove across the country and said,
with the aim of becoming a songwriter, musician.
Well, I never had any hope for that. But I had a girlfriend at the time in Virginia who was like, why don't you try to do something with music? You're good at it. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to get anywhere with that. But okay, you're right. What else am I going to do?
Yeah. And
I was just completely clueless. And I didn't know anybody in California. It was just crazy. I had a miserable 3-year stretch.
Wow.
Just working jobs I hated and just super depressed. But the whole time I was writing songs and making demos.
You were doing that like on your computer or on a tape?
No, this is pre-computer.
I'd say like a 4-track.
I had a 4-track cassette thing literally in my closet.
Right.
And I would do what I later learned was known as the Nashville handshake. Every time I met anybody in the music business, where you shake their hand and
give them a tape,
slip them a tape, and that was never going anywhere. And then eventually, I gave someone the Nashville handshake, and it went somewhere.
And who was that?
It was a guy named John Carter, who at the time was an A&R guy at Atlantic, and he liked it a lot. And he called me the next morning and said he wanted to try to sign me.
Wow.
But his boss didn't like it, so that didn't happen. And then soon after that, he left Atlantic, and I kept giving him more demos as I was writing them, and he was always interested. And then he said he wanted to be my manager, and I was like, okay, great.
Yeah.
And then he had a garage sale, and one of his friends, David Sigerson, who was a producer, came to his garage sale. And
he was getting rid of your tapes.
Well, in a way, Carter gave David the Nashville handshake with one of my demos, and David went home and listened to it, and he loved it. And this is like how lucky my life is at times. which counterbalances all the unlucky times. Yeah. Equally intense, you know. And but he just then, Davitt was offered the job of being president of Polydor Records. So he just signed me himself.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I love it very much.
Well,
yeah. And then that didn't last long. You know, I did 2 albums and was promptly dropped.
Oh, really?
And then, like, somehow I managed to make it all happen again with Lenny Waronker.
So you had 2 albums prior to the big hit, which was Novocaine for the Soul.
I did 2 as E, and the first one had like a K-Rock hit on it.
Okay.
And then the second one just didn't go anywhere, and that was the end of it.
So you were, what? I don't want to make it seem like you were riding a wave but you hit at a certain time where there were who are your contemporaries?
Well, that was the kind of the most miraculous thing of it all, is that like when I came to LA, you know, it was like the late '80s, early '90s, and it was all like hair metal and Guns N' Roses.
I was going to say hair metal, and you said it, so we're on the same page.
We are totally on the same hair metal page in so many ways.
Yeah.
But I was not part of any scene. I didn't feel like I had any peers that I knew of at the time. You know, I think I met some later with, you know, like Amy Mann and Michael Penn and John Bryan. But at the time, I didn't have any, and I never appeared live. I never played live until the first E album came out, and they sent me out to be the opening act on Tori Amos's first tour, and they were all surprised, as I was, that like I was a natural live performer, and it worked.
Right. Yeah. So, let me.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead, Doug.
What were some of the shitty jobs you had when you first came out here?
Excellent question.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's hear it, Doug. Come on, man. You don't get it.
I got a lot of questions.
Man.
Well, a lot of them were sadly poetic, and but at the time just sad. Like I had for a long time I worked at a garage in Burbank that was like right across the street from the high rise that housed Polygram and Polydor Records, which I had no idea one day I would be signed to.
Sure.
You know, and I was like the hose boy. My main I would take customers, you know, give them rides, you know, when they drop their car
off. Is it like
off.
A parking garage or like a?
No. It was a mechanic's garage.
Mechanic, gotcha.
And I went there because I took my car. I mean, I ended up working there because I took my car there to be fixed, and it was so expensive. And I was like, I can't afford it. He's like, well, do you want to work here?
Oh, so you're really doing like dishes in the kitchen situation.
Yeah. So
what does the hose boy do?
Mostly I was washing the cars.
Oh, okay.
And I just always remember like sitting there with a hose and looking up at the Polygram building, being like, someday I wish I could be up there, you know. And then like a few years later, I was up there.
Yeah.
Looking down at the garage. It's amazing.
It's hard to truly appreciate that.
Yeah,
like
well, I do.
Did you buy like a sweet sports car and then bring it to the garage and be like, hey, remember me?
It was crazy. Like my boss there, I remember once, he had another garage across on the other side of Burbank, and occasionally I'd have to ride with him in his pickup truck there. And there was some traffic altercation one day, and he opened up his glove box and pulled a handgun out and pointed it at the other driver. I was terrified.
Ooh. That's not your usual Burbank behavior.
And certainly not my jam.
All right, we have to do the city of the day. We're going to keep talking to Eel throughout the show. We're going to. By the way, I forgot to mention we got Mikaela Davis and her band coming in later. What was her name? What's the name of her band? Does anyone remember?
What? Southern. I think it's on the record.
Okay, I'll get to that later.
Something.
Southern Night. Southern Star. Yes, City of the Day. Folks, the City of the Day is actually this week, we have an exciting sponsor. Our sponsor this week is Armpets Deodorants. Armpets Deodorants. Hi, Tim Heidecker here. As you know, every time I do an office hours show, my armpits get sopping wet. How are they looking today, by the way?
Well, you got a dark shirt on. I think you're pretty good. Probably because you have your deodorants in there.
Okay. I've tried everything, antiperspirants, diapers, and powders, but nothing would stop my extreme embarrassment. That is until I tried Armpet Deodorants. Armpets are real gerbils that love to lick my dry pits. Why? Because they are thirsty. At night, I keep my gerbils in a cage with no water and a hamster wheel. They run, and by the morning, they are parched and ready to lick. Gerbils love the taste of my salty sweat. They keep me dry and keep out the odor. So it's a win-win situation for both of us. Order now and get a free Easy Climb shirt liner that will capture the gerbil turds and prevent them from escaping. I'm wearing my gerbils now, and boy, is it a great solution. Doug, are you wearing your gerbils?
Of course. Oliver's doing a great job right now. How are you, Oliver? Can't wait to get back to his spot. Back in my pit. There you go, Oliver.
Order arm pet deodorants now by going to finally dry dot Richard. That's finally dry dot Richard.
We are gerbils and we like your
Now wait. Now I can dance to the jingle without worrying about moist pit embarrassment.
We are gerbils and we like your sweat. We will lick your armpit dry. We'll lick your pit. We are gerbils and we'll lick you dry.
Pets.
Very nice.
Get back in there, Oliver.
They're ticklish. All right. Who's representing the city of the day today? I almost got that right.
Nico?
Hey, how's it going?
Hello, Nico. How you doing? All right?
Yeah, thanks. The city of the day is Olten, Switzerland.
Whoa! I don't think we've ever had a Swiss.
I don't think so, no. The Swiss have been severely underrepresented.
Well, we apologize.
Thank you.
What's
So
the name
I
of
thought
the
I'd call it today because it's Switzerland's national holiday today, August 1st. That's like our 4th of July. And I thought maybe we could, get some Swiss content on this show.
Yeah, let's get into it. What's the name of the city again?
Olten. Olten is a German-speaking small city, 15,000 people, and it's got nothing but a railway station that's conveniently located, and that's why I'm here.
And what do you do there?
Well, I need to be in different places in Switzerland at different times, so it's just a convenient location. But I work at the university in a place called Basel.
Basel.
Basel, yes. That's the.
Why don't you fuckers take a stand on anything? That's my question for the Swiss. How about you grow a pair and get involved in the world? I don't want to mess with. I don't want to lose any friends over this, man. You guys figure it out.
Yeah. The thing that people don't know is Switzerland isn't just neutral; it's neutral evil. So.
Oh. Okay. Now I love the
I have a
Swiss in a lot of
question,
ways.
if I may.
Yes, you got a question.
So my question is, for those of you who haven't been to Switzerland, what's your closest connection to the country? Like 6 degrees from Kevin Bacon, but with the country. And for those of you who have been, because I know that E has been here, they've played here. What's the worst thing about the country?
Yes, E, what's the worst thing about Switzerland?
I thought this was a question for people who haven't been there.
Well, it's a two-parter.
No, if you've been here, if you've been here, then what's the worst thing?
Well, I think
And if you haven't, what's your closest
Tim's recent rant says it all.
Yeah.
That, like pick a side. Stand up for something.
Was that your experience here, that people didn't want to take a stand on anything?
No. You don't notice that while you're there. You're just
You're there for like 24 hours.
You're bowled over by the beauty.
Yeah, you're right in the Alps, right?
Yeah, and the people are beautiful.
To me, it's a flyover country. When I'm going from Paris to Rome, you fly over those beautiful Alps. You look down. That's all I need from Switzerland.
Yeah, well, that is the good part. No, it's always a nice place to visit for sure. And it's a great place to live if you can afford it.
Yeah, what do you have, like Tina Turner living down there on the lakes and stuff?
Lake Geneva.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
It's where all the rich people hide their money.
True, yes.
I've been to Zurich before.
All right.
And
what was that like?
Complaints. I can't really say there's anything bad about it. The trains were a little too clean. I mean, you could have a little edge to your society, but it's a little...
Oh, you know what? I have a true story about this, though. I got one of those Swiss bank accounts.
Uh-huh.
But I lost all my money. You know why?
Why?
It all fell out. There's all these holes in it.
My friend actually just got back.
Do I need to say any more? I mean, am I done here?
A friend of mine was just raving about Switzerland. He came back from Europe recently. I said, "How was your trip?" He said, "Turns out Switzerland was the nicest spot. It's the sleeper hit." That's what he said.
All right.
It's a beautiful country.
But
Vic, what's your connection with Switzerland?
Well, I was gonna say I like Rubens a lot, but I don't. I've never been there, and I don't think Tim is right that they need to take a stand. Who cares? To stay out of it.
Okay.
Right?
Every country should be like staying out of
Just
wars.
stay out of everything.
Yeah, that's true.
But they're not going to make a big
But that's not the
difference. It's
reality
only
of the
like
world.
8 or 9 million people or whatever.
It's a beautiful point, though.
Switzerland produced Schwarzenegger.
That's
and
Oh,
Hitler.
no, he's Austrian.
Yeah, he's Austrian.
Oh, I don't know why I got that as mixed.
Slightly offensive, Doug.
Who's a famous Swiss celeb?
Roger Federer.
Yep.
What
I
else
don't
do
know
they
who did
speak instead of German there?
French, Italian, and a group of mysterious mountain languages called Romansh.
Whoa, mysterious mountain languages?
Oh, well, it's they're Latin languages, but spoken by like 100 or 200 people each. So.
Wow. Okay. Well, all the best. We love an international audience, and
Thank you.
Proud of you for being a fan because it means you're got a good head on your shoulders.
Switzerland's the same as Austria, right? It's like the same kind.
Easy.
Sure.
Okay.
We actually have a. This doesn't happen a lot. We have a super chatter who paid $10 to ask Ia 2 questions.
Okay.
What do
You want to
think?
take a
wanna
question
them?
from? This is paid.
Do I get like $5?
Oh, we'll pay you out. Yeah, let's go
Okay.
straight to you.
All right.
This is Laura Ann, whose favorite song is "A Good Day to Be You," and she asks, can you talk about what song you and Bret Michaels sung when he jammed with you during practice?
Wow, that is a deep cut question.
Here he is.
I don't even know how you know about that.
Oh man.
There's my guy. It's my buddy Bret right there. So this was just a few years ago. We were rehearsing at the rehearsal place in North Hollywood, and Bret Michaels was in the room next to us, and that's it's one of the fun things about being a professional musician.
Yeah, what is that?
Stuff like this happens, and I'm a big fan of just weird pairings.
Yeah, is that's Skid Row, right? Bret Michaels?
No, Poison.
Poison. Sorry.
Yeah, and he was in the room next to us, and at some point during the week, he just came into our room uninvited and said, "Hey, how's it going, you guys? You want to jam?" And he could not have been nicer.
Sure.
He was a really...
Sorry to interrupt, but is he one of those, he's like a real lefty guy on Twitter? Or is that the guy from...
Axl Rose.
No, there's another one. I think it might be him. Or the guy from Skid Row. Who's the guy from Skid Row?
Sebastian Bach?
Maybe it's Sebastian Bach. I apologize.
Yeah. No, I'm not sure where he is politically.
It doesn't matter. We
yeah.
love all people
Yeah.
for different...
Yeah. Well, anyway, so he whipped out a harmonica from his shirt pocket, and we were working on the old Who song "Out in the Street," which is like the first song in the very first Who album, very old.
Oh, I don't.
It's a great kind of Bo Diddley-ish, great jam, and
Maximum
and I was like,
R&B.
okay, that'll work with a harmonica. And that's what we played with him. And
Nice guy. You didn't exchange numbers?
No, I don't. We didn't exchange. Oh, maybe we did. I can't remember. But
Bret, call in. I know he's watching. He loves the show.
Well, I mean, and later he when our album came out, he tweeted congratulations to the Eels. He's so nice.
It's such a disparate, such a
I know.
incongruous.
I love that. I have another one. It was with Steve Perry, who I did
from Journey.
Yeah, I never grew up a Journey fan, and I became responsible for getting him to sing publicly for the first time in 25 years.
How? What? I mean, what?
It was in some ways it was similar, but Steve was always coming to our shows. He was a fan apparently, and occasionally I would get word backstage that Steve Perry, would like to meet you. And I was such a dick. I was like, nah.
Yeah.
And this is before
Let me know when it's Joe Perry.
Yeah, and this is before I developed this appreciation for these disparate pairings, And then one year, my lighting guy came back before the show, and he said, hey, I just met Steve Perry in the audience, and I went up to him and I said, Mr. Perry, my girlfriend is a huge fan, and he stood up and he went, let's call her. And I was like, wow. I was like, what a great guy. All right, bring him back.
Yeah.
And we became friends. And at the time, I had a long-standing Sunday croquet game in my backyard. And he became part of that for years.
Really?
And
I'm
we
gonna get on this list of yours.
And we became friends. And then he would start coming to our tour rehearsals for years, you know. And uninvited, he would just show up. And my guitarist, Chet, did grow up a big Journey fan. And he was always like baiting Steve, trying to get him to, you know, he'd play like the opening to a Journey song.
Yeah.
And Steve would never take the bait. And then one year, Steve showed up carrying his own microphone. And we were like, oh, is it going to happen, you know? And Chet started playing, you know, like the opening to like, when the lights go down. And Steve got up and he did it. And I have to say, like, from a human interest standpoint, even though I hadn't grown up as a Journey fan.
Oh, his voice is unbelievable.
It was moving, you know. We had horns that year. The horn section, they were crying, you know. It was like really emotional. And then he was like, I'd like to come out and sing at a few shows. And he did the first one. I don't know why he picked St. Paul, but he flew out there, and the encore was like a 20-minute set. He started by singing one of my songs.
Yeah.
And then he did like 3 or 4 well-known Journey hits. You know.
I have a question. Your girlfriend that was a fan of his, was she just a small-town girl?
It was my guitarist, not my girlfriend. But he is also a small-time girl.
That totally wipes out your good question.
I have another question. Bret Michaels, back to him. Was he wearing the bandana? I'm just curious what's under.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You didn't pull
and
it
the
off.
cowboy hat over top of it.
Oh, sometimes it's the bandana hat combo.
So he had the full look going.
Yeah.
Did Steve ever talk about what's his name? Jonathan Cain from Journey, who married Paula White.
Are you making just names up?
He wrote all the hits. He wrote everything. But
well,
now
I
he's married
also
to Paula White.
talked Steve into attending Journey's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction.
Jesus, you really? Who knew you'd get?
I know. I'm the
puppet master.
I'm the great man behind the great men.
Here's another thing about you that I just learned, and I think this can go into talking about the new record a little bit. Is I believe so. Your father is responsible. He invented. Is this true? He invented the parallel universe theory.
Yeah, he's that guy. Yeah.
Where did that come from? Was he just sitting around one day and goes, I got it.
Yeah. Well,
I know what it
exactly.
is.
Exactly. Where did that
was
come
he
from?
A physicist?
Yeah.
He was a.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy. He was a smart guy.
And that led to you being in you were in the Ant-Man thing because they thought that was clever.
Yeah, I didn't inherit my father's math gift whatsoever. I flunked out of like 9th grade geometry. I must have been such an embarrassment to him, you know.
But I would think so.
It might skip a generation because my 7-year-old boy has recently.
Oh, you have kids? Wait, you have a 7-year-old?
I have a 7-year-old boy too. He's not into roller coasters, but he did just discover coding, which is be like the last thing in the world I would be interested in.
Yeah.
So it might be a skip a generation type thing. Yeah, we'll see.
And were you close with your father?
No.
No.
It was the opposite.
Oh, okay.
He died when I was a teenager, very young, at 51. And I was the only one there.
That's
when
scary,
he died.
right?
You know, I had to try to save him and everything. It was very.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was very traumatic. Yeah, you really don't remember anything from my book.
I really do. I am that way. I am that way. Like it's once I'm done a book, it's gone.
Yeah,
but,
I get it.
And it's been 15 years.
Yeah.
Now it's coming back to me.
I wonder how. How did it get to you?
Wow.
Should we answer Laura Ann's other question?
Oh yeah, she paid good money for it.
Well, that was a long answer. I should get $6.
Yeah, seriously. Will Mr. Murder ever record another song?
Ever record another song?
Mr. Murder. I need context on this.
That's Cool G Murder, my longtime bass player, keyboardist, recording engineer, secret weapon. I keep Mr. Murder too busy doing the Eels stuff for him to
Just read my
do
book.
any of his own stuff.
What's that drop?
Just read my book.
How does it work? Because you're the Eels,
Yeah.
essentially. It is a band, I guess, but the other people in the band, do they kind of come and go?
Yeah, it's a weird thing. It's I mean, lately it's turned into there's kind of like touring Eels and studio Eels, and sometimes they intermingle.
Yeah.
That's largely just because the guys that I have been playing with on tour for a long time all live in Portland.
Oh.
And
do they do other things?
Well, yeah, they're
Yeah,
kind of jack of all trades,
Right.
musically, but I've tried to talk reason with them to move to LA, but they just love Portland.
So when you get ready to tour, they come down here
Yeah.
and you just book out a place
Right.
and you get through it.
And then wait for the latest Steve Perry or
Right.
Bret Michaels to.
Now back to your like hitting these weird things that what do you want to call it, kismet or whatever, happen to be at the like magical things happening. You're one of these guys that gets during this little pocket of time. You get on that Shrek soundtrack.
Yeah. That
because they don't do these fucking soundtracks. I mean, unless I don't know about maybe they do, but
Well, this is also back in the day when a lot of us, including myself, would be very choosy about soundtracks.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, I don't want to be in some, kids
Shrek.
movie.
Yeah.
And then they showed it to me, and this
Was
is
this the
hard
first
to.
Shrek or the second?
It was the first one.
Yeah.
And then I ended up being in the second and the third too, but I was really. This is hard to appreciate now, but at the time, it really struck me how nice the ending was. That spoiler. That the princess, goes reverse, from beautiful
Right.
to ugly.
Right.
And I was like, this is such a great message. I love this. Yeah, I want to be in it.
what was that?
And
Got real loud.
nowadays, of course, nobody cares, and you just be like, yeah, anything that
Right.
wants it can have it.
Yeah.
But back then it was like, I had the same manager as Neil Young around then, and so I was always just like, what would Neil do? It's like,
Right.
well, Neil would never do this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That goes out the window pretty quick.
Yeah.
I mean,
at a certain point.
What was there was one story somebody was telling me about a soundtrack that I don't think it was Shrek, but it was something like that at that time that somebody had a real obscure track on it. Do you remember what I'm talking about? It might have been the Titanic. No, it's not the Titanic soundtrack. I don't remember what it is, but because this one guy had this song on a record that huge. Maybe it was Shrek.
I mean, the famous one is Nick Lowe.
Thank you. Talk to me about that.
Because he wrote Peace, Love, and Understanding.
Oh,
which
yeah.
I believe Whitney Houston sang.
Curtis somebody.
Oh, that's right.
I was just talking about this a couple of days ago. I can't remember his name. Curtis somebody.
Like a soul guy.
Did a cover. I think it was a very slick, kind of top 40 sounding.
But it was on the Bodyguards.
But it was on the Bodyguard soundtrack, which at the time was like the biggest selling album ever.
Platinum.
And
he gets the
Nick
publishing.
Lowe, like everyone assumed, like Nick Lowe hated it, and I remember reading an interview with him, and he said, they said, like, what do you think about this cover on the Bodyguard? And he said, if Curtis ever comes to town, tell him there's a steak dinner waiting for him.
Yeah.
Curtis Stigers.
Curtis Stigers, yeah.
Back when CDs ruled this town.
Sold records and made lots of dough.
So we do want to talk about a couple of things. Let's take a Zoomer.
Ignore this call.
Yes.
Or a hotheader, I don't care.
There seem to be more bone picks. So
Great, I prefer it. No
we
offense.
love a bone pick. And then maybe we should have E shift over. Do you want to hang out? Do you want?
Yeah,
what do you
hang.
think?
I'd love to have you.
I might need to hit the restroom or something on the way.
Yeah,
if
we'll
that's-
have a break, but if you can use well, there's a toilet in that chair.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, just sort of turn around.
I could just
and
go
lean
my,
into it, and
I
it
could
should
just-
absorb it.
I could just. Is it okay if I just piss my pants?
That's fine too.
Okay.
We have people to change you later.
509, or you're live on the hotline. 509.
Oh.
Are you there, bone picker? Oh shoot.
Well, it's no wonder you don't have any
that's on
friends.
us. We disconnected. All right, Evan. Evan has a new
509,
idea.
call back.
Oh, good, a
Yeah.
new idea.
Yes.
I gotta go.
Hey, Tim, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I had a new idea for you. You know how they do those TED Talks. You know TED Talks.
Mm-hmm.
What if you did that, but you called it Tim Talks?
Oh, okay. Let's move on to the next caller. Thank you. That's a great idea. We'll consider it.
I'm about to bust.
Well, let's think about it. You know, if it catches on, people will do their own Tim Talks, and that's free advertising for you.
Oh, yeah.
How are those different than TED Talks, though?
Well, I don't
the
know.
point is, Doug, it's free advertising for me.
Yeah.
Which
I think
is
we
what
got
you
it.
want. Smart.
Yeah.
Thank you so
We got
much. Appreciate that.
This
Always
will
looking for new
be
By the way, later, and I have to tell you, I might have to check myself into a mental institution.
Ignore this call.
Because I suffered through, why do I do this to myself? But I suffered through this Bill Maher Hucktaw interview. Haley.
In a mental institution.
What?
An insane asylum
What's that, Don?
is a mental institution on steroids.
What's that?
An insane asylum is Silence of the Lambs. In a mental institution. An insane asylum is a mental institution on steroids.
Fair enough. I think it's just another way of saying it. It's just outdated. But this Bill Maher, I mean, we'll talk about it in the second half. That's really what I'm just teasing, teasing this because I made it halfway through, but this should be.
Should be illegal.
It should be illegal. It should be filed by the FBI. Should be investigating this situation. I know she's of age, but it's completely disgusting what this guy. I mean, this guy. What should have happened is, they taped this show.
Well, do they know who do they know who we're talking about though?
Everyone
the
knows
guest.
Hawk 2.
Okay.
I think so. Okay. Unless you're living under a rock.
I didn't know.
I mean, I try to keep myself out of this stuff, but every time I do, somebody draws me in. 2 people send it to me this morning. Got to watch Huck Talk.
Just so cray.
And I think Bill should have taped this with this. I mean, nothing against this girl. She seems nice enough, you know. But Bill should have said, you know what? She leaves. Thanks for coming in. And he goes to his producer and says, I think we should just bag this one.
Let me tell you a story about the Beatles.
I mean, I don't think we need to put this one out. You know, it wasn't my best hour, and who cares, right? Let's just bag it. We'll you know, live another day, and there's no reason for this to exist.
It's only him and her in the basement. They just press play up top or record up top. I'm serious.
No,
I'm serious. There's nobody in the basement.
So they're recording on all the cameras. And
all the cameras are all
later?
set up.
There's someone running the robots.
But there's
Vic formation. Here we go.
There's no one in the basement. I swear to God.
Well, they might be upstairs.
They're upstairs, but that's not the basement, though.
Well, he can come up from the stairs, say, "Thank you for coming in, Haley. Good luck to you. All the best."
Okay, that changes.
That's just we don't need to put that out. There's something off about it.
All right,
really
here's what we should
unpleasant.
do. We should let the band come in. Let E either use the facilities or shift over there. We'll talk to the
shit over
hotline.
there? What'd you say?
You can shit over here.
I can shit here too?
You can shit on Doug's chair.
Crazy.
Band, come on in, gets it up, and I'm going to bring on this bone picker.
Okay,
so we can
good.
have a chat while they get.
That's a wonderful idea.
Can I mention that I have a game coming up in
Yes, I'm sorry, Doug. You've got a game that's called Ace the Bass.
Ace the Bass.
Ace the Bass.
This will be fun, Mark. You'll love playing this game.
Hawk 2 Girl presents. All right, 509. You should be on the air now.
All right. Can you hear me?
All righty then. Yes, I can hear you.
So I have a bone to pick specifically with Doug or Vic. I don't know which one it is, but I would like to ban a drop.
Oh, no.
Okay.
We're banning a drop, folks. Get ready.
Bear with me. Bear with me, guys.
I
Every
love it.
time someone calls in, one of you plays a drop where it's saying, hello, can you hear me? Every time it is over the person that calls, and I'm done with it. I am ranting and
Yes.
raving and was told to call.
You go, gal. Yes, Queen. Yes. Amen to that.
Which drop?
I've been.
So which one is it?
Is it a male or a female voice?
This has been requested off
Male
air.
Oh, I
repeatedly,
begged them. I
and
said, when
never
people
honored.
call in, just let it happen. Like you don't need to. If there's ever a millisecond of
I just want to
dead
identify
air.
the drop. Is it this?
Hello?
Could be. And then you also do the. Anybody there? You do the. Is anybody there?
That's what
Yeah, that one.
That's
That is
me.
the one that you always seem to somehow,
This one?
with perfect timing, do it right when the caller's saying hello.
Anybody there?
I think it's a great note. I have to tell you, unfortunately, I think you've just added you've just concentrated it into you've made it much of a bigger deal.
It's like a Streisand effect.
Yeah, now he's gonna do it every time.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
But in all reality, this has been requested off the air. This discussion has happened, and the
Yes,
boys
it's
do not honor
stopping
it.
If there's drops in here, I'm going to hit
Now
them.
you're
I
here.
volunteered as tribute to call.
Well, that drop will be boosted and doubled.
I see what I mean. See, look what you've done.
Triple down.
Actually, we have
I tried.
we have an opposite bone picker. It looks like.
What?
Jeff, you have an opposing view.
Oh boy.
What?
Jeff, are you there?
We're in the weeds now.
What? Anybody there?
Jeff,
Yeah,
you're on the hotline.
Okay, yeah.
Hello?
I mean, I got a bone to pick with the person who just picked a bone about.
Oh, boy.
There's not enough drops on this show. There haven't been enough drops. I heard smells like Teen Spirit. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you.
All other drops are allowed still.
Well, I like this with two callers at once.
Yeah, let them
Let 'em
sort
go,
it
let
out.
'em
Get me
fight.
out of the middle of
Let's
this.
have
I
a
don't really
moderated
get it.
debate.
Yeah.
And whoever wins, their
great
decision
debate.
stands.
Well, listen, I think the drops
Okay,
have
but
found
really,
a nice equilibrium. I always see these people, there aren't enough drops. What do you want? Because what are we going to do? Interrupt E while he's telling an interesting story that somebody might want to hear?
You can't hear the story when there's drops, right? Or can you understand both? That's my question for the caller.
Yeah.
Here's what we'll do. We'll let these guys fire away at a maximum speed all episode, but then we'll have stems come out so you can mix them yourselves.
Oh, maybe we could come out on that Kanye. Remember Kanye's little device where you could you could mix the stems
Right.
together.
Okay, enough. We're already running late, and we have Mikaela Davis and Southern Star, which I got a new tote bag, everybody.
What?
Don't have enough tote bags.
Okay.
Of her new album. Well, it's just called Mikaela Davis and Southern Star.
It's the old album.
what?
That's the old album. Okay.
That's
here-
the name of the band, Southern Stars.
I understand that. By the way, it's not Southern Stars, it's Southern Star. It's only one star. And she's here with us, not E.
And where are you guys from?
I'm going to interview her after the break.
Just
Give
one
me a
question.
break. It's not the question I have. Go ahead, you can answer.
Upstate New York.
That's not South.
All right.
It's not
And guess
Southern.
what, folks? Wes, what do I need to do? Just lower my thing? What's the name of the song you're going to do?
It's called Promise.
Promise?
Off that
Pull
album,
it
yeah.
Forward? Back. Okay, sorry. And guess what, folks? I'm going to play a little rhythm piano on the song, too. So we'll hear this beautiful song, and then we'll take a short break, and you'll stick around. E's going to stick around
Now I'm getting
back
excited.
there with Doug, and we'll be back with more show. Join us at patreon.com/officeHoursLive. And that way you can get a free nude image of Vic Berger. That's
What?
providing that for the next week.
What?
And it's very close up. It's a very close up macro shot. All right? We'll be back shortly.
cut your hair. Were you trying to change for me? Honey, you're still there. Like a promise I never wanted to keep. Looking back, you're the one who gave me a reason to leave. I guess that's that. Just a promise nobody wanted to keep. I try to stay away, but who's the one to blame when I come knocking on your door? Turn out the lights. You can be the person I want you to be, hiding in plain sight, like a promise nobody wanted to keep. Nobody wanted to keep.
Someday when we get really drunk, I'll tell you the one that's one of my favorites that Conrad told. Is it who told? Conrad. Oh, don't forget that. Oh, God, he tells funny jokes.
Oh, he's a funny man.
Oh, he's hilarious.
He's a delightful
I heard a funny one last night. Let's see now. The guy's on a desert island, gets shipwrecked with a pig and a dog. So after about a month, the pig starts to look pretty good. And he starts, caressing her feet, tweaking her little nose, and the dog gets real jealous and attacks him. And so he has to give it up. I mean, the dog's really biting him, so he has to give it up. About a month later, the dog's asleep. He thinks he'll try it again. He creeps over the pig, the dog wakes up and growls and attacks him again. So he has to give it up. About a month later, there's a beautiful blonde shipwreck on the island. This world-class woman. He says, thank God. He said, will you help me? Will you hold that dog for Oh, dear. Oh, that's
I don't wanna be like a T5 baby in the best I love. Thinking on the way, I don't wanna be like a T5 baby in the best I love. Thinking on the way, I don't wanna be like a T5 I don't wanna be like a T5 baby in the best I love. Thinking on the way, I don't wanna be like a T5 love, like a T-Body, send me the best. I don't wanna be. I don't wanna like the T-Body, send me the T-Body, send me the best I love. Send me on the way. I don't wanna be like the T-Body, send me the best love. I don't wanna be like the T-Body, send me the best I love. I don't wanna send me on the way. I don't wanna be like the T-Body, send me the best I love. I don't wanna send me on the way. I don't wanna be like the T-Body, send me the best I love. I don't wanna be like I love. Send me on the way. I don't wanna be like the T-Body, I don't wanna be I love. Like the T-Body on the way. I don't wanna be like the T-Body, I don't wanna be I love. Like the T-Body, send me to the best I love.